The Redeemer has risen.
Hey, what's up guys, Master here, back to do a video commentary. It's not going to be a first person video this time, but instead I'm going to do a video cast of the ladder wars that was held last month. It's going to be a series between bike-RUsh+ownz and OneVISION. So without further ado, we'll get into this series. And it is not live, it's going to be a cast from the replays. Anyway, over here to the right hand side, we have playing as a GDI faction, we have OneVISION. I mean, you can only assume it's going to be OneVISION because he's not red. And what faction is he? He's going to be Zocom. So Zocom for OneVISION, and to the bottom over here we have playing as the Scrin faction. It's going to be bike-RUsh+ownz. What faction has he drawn? He's drawn Reaper 17. So he's going to be opening up with a descent rush. This is actually a very common thing to do amongst Scrin players. They go 5 descents to harass the spike. It's very effective because descents are faster than rifles and many scouts in the early game for one. And also they can get into these areas here, and it just becomes impossible to dispatch those descents because you have to go around this cliff edge here, and then you're in the line of sight of those descents, whereas you wouldn't normally be in the open terrain. But it looks like bike-RUsh, he's got a dozen, or actually no, he's got like 5 descents there. Wow, Leaf. And this should be seen by OneVISION. He's going to do what I do and what WookieBert does, and that is consolidate a lot of scouts once you scout the outer reaches of your base. And he's going to have 4 or 5 rifle squads here. What bike-RUsh could do is he could put this buzzer amongst the descents so that the buzzer won't be targetable. Because if you can get that buzzer in there, it's going to be impossible to target down that buzzer, as you can see. But no, he's not doing that. He's going to lose the buzzer. Well, that was a mistake. He could have actually won that engagement if he had just moved in with the buzzer with the descents, because it's unlikely that it would have been destroyed. So yeah, it's going to be eco from this point on. It's not a big deal that bike-RUsh lost all those descents, because look how much money that OneVISION had to spend on the rifles. I mean, he built like 5 or 6 rifle squads. And they're not much good for anything. They're not like descents, where descents are they can actually kill harvesters, but rifle squads versus Reaper really not going to be doing too much for you. So yeah, it's going to be a expansion for either one of these guys. I'd imagine now we're going to see maybe a Seeker push from bike-RUsh, but seeing how there's already many scouts out on the map for OneVISION, I don't think bike-RUsh is going to be in a rush to go for aggression. He's probably just going to eco here. It would be wise to just eco in this point. And it looks like all these scouts being sent in one direction. Not sure if I agree with that. Probably best to send them in multiple angles, just in case there are Seekers coming. You'd imagine that to be on the top of your list as a GDI player versus Scrin. Now, what I would do as OneVISION in this game is I'd probably go for, well actually I do this every game, but yeah, I'd go for Fast Tech Firehawks. Fast Tech Firehawks, extremely powerful. You mean the build order for this is you go for 3 refineries, drop a quick barracks down, because it's likely that there's going to be Seekers coming or something before you get your tier 3 up, harassing you. So once you've got that up, you then take up to tier 3 with 1 airfield before your tier 3, and you get a secondary airfield after that tier 3. Go 8 Firehawks, and you just detech your opponent to tier 1. And it's easier dealing with Scrins on tier 1 as it is on tier 3, as you might imagine. But yeah, it's going to be just a very, very light harassment here. I don't imagine this spike doing too much. I mean, he's following it up with some Seekers, in fact just only a single Seeker. So this is not going to do too much. This is just going to tell bike-RUsh what he needs to know. Is he going for a airfield, or is he going for a war factory or a refinery? In fact, OneVISION going for that unorthodox refinery versus Scrin, something that you wouldn't expect. I don't think bike-RUsh was expecting it either. He's going for nothing. He has no defense right now. I think this could be a quick game 1 for OneVISION. He's got no portals. This is really, that's going to be 1 harvester at least going down here. But no, he actually has a tech center down, so that explains why bike-RUsh was so slow to react there. Lightning Spike still alive, causing damage. But this will be forted somehow. I mean, I don't understand why he couldn't just do more than that. I mean, all of those harvesters phased? No, there actually is just 1 there that isn't. But yeah, nice. I guess he just used he forced the phase from bike-RUsh, but the phase isn't much good for much else at this stage of the game. By the time that's relevant again, if OneVISION decides to transition into infantry, it's going to be available, because a long amount of time would have been passed since by then. Oh my god. So it's just going to be ecoing now, or it's just going to push him with APCs. Obviously the APCs are to response to the descents. This is not really a build that I would do personally versus Reaper 17. I mean, you're going to get outclassed on the ground by things like Shardwalkers and Tripods, which are extremely powerful. But as you can see here, Harvest is getting sniped for bike-RUsh, only a singular gunwalker up here. So there's not much in the form of a counter-harass for bike-RUsh, though he is on tier 3. He is getting those tripods up. And what do we have over here? We have another attack here, but quick storm column placement will dispatch these APCs. I mean, it is just mostly APCs. OneVISION seems to be content on focusing down that Harvester. Maybe could have had a better shot at killing the storm column, but maybe not. There is going to be a tripod coming out now, so this is just pretty much OneVISION donating his unit. It wasn't the wisest of decisions by him. Looks like these spikes could be taken out, by the way. Not sure if he had the time though to do it with only 4 pitbulls. And if I were bike-RUsh, I'd probably get like 1 or 2 Mechapedes out just to, you know, scout the map, because he has no eyes really on what Vision's doing. He doesn't know if he's going air. He's moving his drone ship because he doesn't know that there is air coming out of Vision. So he's going to do this just in anticipation of that. He's going to go for the shard upgrade as well, because he's going to have shard upgrade. No, he doesn't have shards, but he will have the ability to throw down buzzer hives and oh, he's going to lose this drone platform. Oh, that was so close. I mean, if he had more, those pitballs which were idle, did he send those pitballs in? I assume that's what damaged that drone platform so severely. Anyway, bike-RUsh here with just 3 tripods. Looks like he will be storming into this base. I don't see OneVISION reinforcing enough forces here to get back into this fight. And I just feel that he expended too many forces in that mid-game push. I don't think that was necessary. And that's going to cost him here. And that's going to be a good game, I think. Unless he has a ace up his sleeve, like going for a tier 3 to place down sonic emitters. But I don't think he does. I think that is going to be it. He's going to get his expansion taken out here. And it's pretty much going to be it. I'd imagine OneVISION to be throwing the towel soon. He's going for his 3 ref build. I'm not sure if he placed a 4th ref or if he just had it on 3 refineries. But I noticed that OneVISION all the time goes for 3 refs on and places 1 ref for his expansion. This is not the most ideal builds, because, you know, there is a tendency for harvesters to bug at refineries, which are clumping up like that. So yeah, not really advised. But does he have the infantry upgrade? No, he does not. He doesn't have composite armor, so yeah, it's only going to be a matter of time, I think, for OneVISION before he loses this game. I mean, he just lost his MCV, so he doesn't have the ability to get that upgrade quick. But not that it matters, because just mass buzzers from the portal, which is what bike-RUsh is doing right now, is going to kill all those missile squads. And yeah, that's going to be GG. So that's going to be a quick 1-0 victory to bike-RUsh. That's going to... There is a $10 cash prize, by the way, in this Ladder Wars. And while bike-RUsh, or sorry, OneVISION is still in this, I'd like to make an announcement. And the announcement being that we have a new program. Well, it's not really new, but it's been in development for a while now. It's called Command Post. And the purpose of this program is to facilitate the installation of patch 1.02 plus, the map packs. So if we have any update in the future, rather than you going to, you know, for example, Game Replays to download that map pack, you can just install Command Post and it will take care of your map packs. Also, it is the best replay viewer in Kane's Wrath ever, period. I mean, it has very useful statistics. For example, you can view APM. I mean, there is analytics now in this replay viewer. And there's also a VPN server as well, among other things. I really do highly suggest that you download Command Post, and I don't see any reason why you wouldn't. So I'll leave a link in the description below. So yeah, we're going to go into the game number 2 now. Not much to really digest in this game. OneVISION was a bit wasteful, I'd say, mid-game. He should have been a bit more conservative. Maybe just, I think he made a build order mistake there. Should have gone for the Bastek Firehawks like I mentioned. but not to be. That's going to be 1-0 victory to bike-RUsh. Alright guys, Master here, back to do game number 2 between bike-RUsh+ownz and OneVISION. So yeah, it looks like OneVISION, being the loser of the last game, will have the chance to pick this map. He's decided to pick Tournament, or was it Tiberium Rift? Something like that. Twisted Rift. I really don't know. There was 2 versions of it throughout history, and yeah, looks like on the left-hand side here we have playing as the vanilla node is gonna be OneVISION. And scrolling over to the right-hand side, we can see playing as the red faction once again. It's going to be bike-RUsh+ownz. So at least bike-RUsh+ownz is sticking to red. Going to make it a lot easier for me editing the scoreboards in the post-editing. And bike-RUsh is a GDI faction. Did he draw Steel Talons? Yes, he did, because you can see he doesn't have any infantry upgrade besides AP ammo. So that's how you know in a random mirror what your opponent is, if if you can only see your opponent's rifle squad. So yeah, I mean that does help you a lot, especially when you're black hand and you're like, oh yeah, I want to go for a flame rush, but then you see your opponent has this rifle squad. If you don't check that rifle squad, you can actually lose the game if you go flame rushes, because you know Titans crush flame tanks and reckoners. So I've had that happen to me many a time, and finding out that my opponent is Steel Talons. But looks like OneVISION is going to anti-scout bike-RUsh here, or try to. Does bike-RUsh have any scouts coming from the bottom? He does. Oh, OneVISION. I think he's overspending a bit too much here. Is he just going eco? Is he falling bike-RUsh into a false sense of security here? Is he just going to go for eco? I think he is. Did bike-RUsh spot that refinery? No, he did not. And I think... Has bike-RUsh sussed this out? Does he not know that there's no units coming? I think he knows by the timing that there is no flame tank. Anyhow, Expo going to be underway for OneVISION. Nice call though by bike-RUsh. I guess he knows that he's kind of safe if there is a flame tank coming, because he is Steel Talons. He can just build that Titan and crush the flame tank if it were coming. But yeah, I don't feel that it was necessary to draft so many scouts for OneVISION, especially when, I mean, he was up against Steel Talons. Not really the best idea rushing them to begin with. But he's going to go for a few bikes here, or just maybe a singular bike. A lot of mind games in this game. Maybe he's making bike-RUsh think there is 2 war factories by this bike. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, bike-RUsh, he's drafting rifle squads because he has no real eyes on the map right now. And these guys are a little bit on edge right now. Wolverine coming out now for bike-RUsh. But yeah, he needs this Pitbull to be scouting right now. I mean, he needs that to be... Oh, I think he may suss out the fact that OneVISION could be going for 2 war factories, so he's going to respond in kind with his own 2 war factories. This just because he couldn't scout, he's doing this. Because, you know, if OneVISION did decide to go 2 war factory, then bike-RUsh would have been pretty screwed there. But yeah, OneVISION going to drop down his 3rd refinery, and it's going to be up to bike-RUsh now to make something work here with these Pitbulls. Otherwise, he's going to be out-ecoed in the long run. He needs to punish Vision's expansion here. There's only 1 Scorpion tank to respond. And if I were OneVISION in this spot, I'd probably get Scorpion tanks out now. But yeah, bike-RUsh going to see that there's forces down here. And he knows that in the top of the map there is nothing. He's going to go up there and he's going to find a lot of harvesters. But the thing is, can he kill them? That's a different question entirely. It's very hard microing around. I mean, it's very hard killing harvesters around the war factory, especially when they're being microed. Pitbulls are not the best at microing. I mean, killing harvesters around the war factory. Man, I didn't realize I have all my notifications. Oh fuck me! What the fuck? This game, man, in Windows 10, it's like this game's winning in borderless windowed mode, but it's actually like full screen. But yeah, anyhow, back onto this game. OneVISION, I mean, bike-RUsh, going to take this blue Tiberium. I don't think he's going to be punished for it. There's not enough Scorpion tanks here. He's going to be... well, he might trade decently, though, at least. Oh, actually, take that back. I think bike-RUsh might be in a lot of trouble here if he loses this Harvester. What's going on in the meantime? We don't have any like additional group of Pitbulls split off to kill OneVISION's Harvesters. bike-RUsh, he has ecoed though, getting up his eco very quickly. And are we going to see OneVISION do the same as he did last game and just go for that 1 singular refinery and his expansion? Yes, he did. For some reason, he seems to do that all the time. And again, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Or I definitely don't think it's a good idea anyway. It's better to saturate your field with 2 refineries, I'd say. But the one advantage of that is that he will take his third, I guess, a little sooner. He will have... he's going infantry now. But, yeah, I don't think infantry is the right answer because, you know, you're going to be up against... Well, I was going to say hammerheads, but... Going to go into the orcas now. Is he going to go for sensor pod upgrade? That would be a good call also. I'd definitely do that if I was going orcas because, you know, versus Nod you can reveal a very large area with sensor pods. But yeah, this is pretty much, I mean, OneVISION in this game, I think, in these games, I just think he's a little bit nervous because he's just throwing away units away. And you can tell that he's not really playing too well. But yeah, OneVISION's harvesters are going to be coming under siege very soon. I mean, bike-RUsh has pumped out 7 orcas with an 8th on the way. And what has he been doing? Has he killed anything so far? No, he has not. He needs the pit bulls to go alongside the orcas just to reveal those harvesters. Unless, like I mentioned before, he gets the sensor pod upgrade. But he may just have a radar scan. If he gets a radar scan here, he can just decimate the harvesters. 8 orcas will also kill scorpion tanks. Or actually, I do think it's 6, if my memory serves me right. I think it's 6 that one-shot a scorpion tank with dozer blades. But down here, it's just going to be some light harassment, no upgrades for the infantry. And bike-RUsh needs to really make something work here. It's a very powerful unit composition, orcas plus pit bulls. Infantry may be the only thing that could hold this back. bike-RUsh, he has no expansion right now. Oh, the flame tanks are in the base. How did they get in here? Or OneVISION playing smart, realizing that he probably can't destroy that tech center, killing the power plants there. That's going to put bike-RUsh down on super low power. It's going to be doubling the time it takes for him to build and train units. And those orcas were called back, so that's going to buy OneVISION time to, you know, go for venoms and stuff. The orcas coming in, the anti-air turrets being frantically placed down. One venom coming in to intercept. He needs to pull the harvesters. Oh, he needs to pull them. That's a real bad... I would have done that a lot sooner if I were you, OneVISION. That's going to be 2 dead harvesters. Not necessary. Pitbull's a bit late in response, but yeah, I guess it's good enough for OneVISION. He's going to kill the orcas in retreat because, you know, there is no pitbulls anymore to stop the venoms, of which there are 2 now. And that's going to be a good game, I think, for bike-RUsh, unless he has something else. Wow, he doesn't have anything right now. He's got... How did he lose it? Oh yeah, again, he lost that refinery to the flame tank. So yeah, good flank by OneVISION. Don't think bike-RUsh was expecting it. And OneVISION here, he's just going to go for laser capacitors maybe. I mean, I found that laser scorps and laser venoms very good versus titans and hammerheads and orcas. Laser scorps, in fact, I think just completely thrash titans in mass. So I guess he could just spam scorpion tanks and win this game. But yeah, I don't think he needs to take any engagements. I mean, he can see that bike-RUsh is kind of trapped in his base right now. All this blue Tiberium is available to OneVISION, which he's sending harvesters to now. So all that Tiberium is going to yield a nice, healthy flow of income for OneVISION. And bike-RUsh finally getting underway with that expansion. A little late though, in my opinion. I don't think he can really expand and hope to win this game. I think he needs to maybe go for an all-in. I mean, you'd imagine bike-RUsh to be the master of these situations, knowing where he is in the game. I've realized that if bike-RUsh is behind, he usually just all-ins you. But this time, I don't feel that just ecoing for bike is a good call. Yeah, especially with these scorpion tanks, you know, right up on your ass, killing harvesters and the tip field. So yeah, he needs to make another decision here. He's going for the expansion, which is what I thought he would do to begin with. So maybe if this were a little sooner, he would have been okay. But yeah, I do feel it's a little too late now. OneVISION needs to go for those avatars. He needs to get obelisks up. He cannot underestimate this push by bike-RUsh because there are a number of titans here, but the MCV, oh, that actually will delay bike-RUsh for a little while. So this is good. This is going to buy OneVISION time. He's going for a Redeemer. Is he going to have enough time, though, to get that up? I guess he will because he's going to have an obelisk queued. He could probably go for Vertigo, considering how there's no anti-air, or scratch that because he does have some units. But yeah, it's going to be a close game. I do, however, think that Vision has this in the bag because there is 4 avatars out. And it's going to be a real simple hold, though, for OneVision. And these harvesters even getting chased down as they pull some much-needed Tiberium back for bike-RUsh. But yeah, this is going to be a fight that's over before it really began. And that is going to be it, I think. He doesn't have shockwave artillery, as far as I know. He doesn't have adaptive armor either. Not that it's going to matter too much. But, oh, he's actually doing a nice amount of damage here. Maybe he could use the railgun accelerators. That pretty much doubles the rate of fire of Titans. The Redeemer is out, and that's going to be a very abrupt ending to a game which bike-RUsh could never hope to win. And where it went all wrong for Bike in that game was when he went for the Orcas, and you know, he couldn't kill any. He killed 2 harvesters, but then you know, he traded all of his Orcas for it. And not only that, but he lost his refinery to those flame tanks, denying his expansion forever. And he lost those 2 power plants as well. I think that was really the turning point of that game, is when bike-RUsh lost those 2 power plants and refinery. So yeah, good game, well played by OneVision, and we're going to go into the next game. It is 1-1. Okay everyone, Masterleaf here, back to do game number 3 between bike-RUsh+ownz and OneVision. And up here on the top, we have OneVision playing as the Nod faction. And scrolling to the bottom, we have bike-RUsh+ownz playing as a GDI faction once more. We can assume that these guys also were picking random throughout the entire series. Anyway, bike-RUsh has been dealt GDI. And scrolling up to the top of the map here, we can see OneVision, who has been dealt, well, it's going to be dealt Black Hand. So very, very nice faction for OneVision here. Zocom versus GDI. Actually, no, it's GDI versus Black Hand. So pretty classic matchup. Anything can go on this matchup. I'd say it's a good map for GDI to defend versus most of the cheese that Black Hand have. I mean, you can't do a 2-ref infantry move on your opponent because, you know, look at the rush distance, man. I mean, it's crazy. You're never going to arrive at this expo before your opponent is already prepared to defend it. And not only that, but flame tanks. It's just, I feel it's a little easier to defend flame tanks on this map because of these narrow chokes. But yeah, I guess you could sneak one around, but you know, it's going to take forever for a flame tank to go all the way around here. And yeah, I don't know about that. I just feel that it's a map that's going to suit GDI better, especially with this terrain here, which is really hard to traverse with land units, and Black Hand only having land units, that's going to really complicate life for them. Whereas GDI, they have hammerheads and orcas, which can just pretty much traverse over this, like, you know, vertically. Or diagonally, I should say, and then, you know, they're straight in the enemy base. A lot of the time, the bike buggy is never really in position to handle that. On the right-hand side here, we're going to see some anti-scouting. I don't think bike-RUsh has got eyes in OneVision's base yet. In fact, he will have it now because the rifle squad will get into the base for a much-needed scout. He needs this scout right now. Otherwise, he will be making the same decisions as he did make last game, which was 2 war factories because he couldn't scout. But this game, he's going to see... Well, actually, I'm not sure if he saw... I mean, I guess he saw the war factories, so he knows that more or less there's going to be eco coming for OneVision. And if I were OneVision, if I'm going eco, I'd probably just send my harvester the long way around, because if you send this like where your opponent's rifle was just, you're going to give away the fact that you're ecoing. So yeah, that's something to take note of if you're OneVision. OneVision and nor bike-RUsh not going for that blue Tiberium yet. I guess there is not really enough to warrant a harvester going there yet. There is 2 spikes on this map. Don't think I've ever casted this map. In fact, I did once in a tournament, which also featured bike-RUsh and Phoenix, if I recall correctly. Anyway, it's just going to be eco for OneVision, or unfortunate refinery bug here. You might want to correct that soon, otherwise you will be costing him here. There is 1 bike, though, for OneVision, which I guess will compensate for the fact that that's happening, because, you know, delayed for quite a bit. Yeah, he's going to fix it now, though, I think. So, yeah, noticed it not too late, but just when he needed to. And bike-RUsh going for a very greedy build, 4 refineries. But I guess he's just very confident that the fact that there's just nothing but eco for OneVision. He just seems quite content on spamming out harvesters, which I guess, I mean, I don't blame him. But is infantry coming out now for OneVISION, which I guess he was maybe expecting bike-RUsh to do 2 off factories like he did last game. But he had eyes in bike-RUsh's base. I don't see the urgency of going infantry right now because you're not under any kind of pressure. So he forewent his economy to go for this infantry, which is not doing anything right now. So that's going to be giving bike-RUsh an economic advantage right now, because you can see he's got this eco up established here. He's also been harvesting blue Tiberium. So he's going to be getting a nice swell of units soon, which will cancel out the fact that OneVISION has these units right now. He needs AP ammo though, bike-RUsh. I imagine he's going for it now. He's also going for hammerheads, one can only imagine. He's not Zocom, so he won't have ceramic armor. He's going to have hammerheads though, which are powerful in themselves. And I just don't think this infantry move was good unless he goes for Mantis. He's going flame tanks. Maybe he's going for purifying flame. Really? Already do you see this out of GDI or Black Hand? Sorry. So this could be pretty devastating. The problem is though, bike-RUsh is going for hammerheads, which is the perfect answer to flame tanks if you are going for flame tanks. Oh, there's one flame tank here. I think that came in too soon. Came in way too soon. If OneVISION had timed that little better, he could have bought himself more time to kill this refinery at least. That would have been definitely worth it, but not to be, man, because there is a catalyst missile and bike-RUsh, punished as ever, going to lose both of the refineries to that. So yeah, I guess that doesn't really matter that these flame tanks were just being lost. Oh, he needs to watch his MCV. Oh, there is a beacon. That's going to be a tip vapor bomb. He needs to try and stop this. There is 2 APCs on the cliff, on the bridge, sorry. So he will be stopping this, I think. Yeah, he's definitely losing this MCV. That is going to be a massive blow. bike-RUsh needs to make something happen here with these hammerheads. Does he have anything on the land? He has some APCs. There is Tib Core done now, which is going to actually, that's going to be game winning for OneVISION. If he can just hold this off, he needs to go for those Tib Core SAMs. He needs to go for Shredder turrets. He needs to micro focus down these APCs. bike-RUsh though, he's going to find that there is no defense here until now, and I think that is going to be GG. Did bike-RUsh sell both of his airfields? Yes, he did. He lost his expansion as well. He's going back for an MCV. But, you know, that Tib Core upgrade is all that OneVISION is going to need in this game. And I think that is going to be good game. So OneVISION there punishing bike-RUsh for going for not spreading his refineries. Not that it would have mattered, because the flame tank did actually kill the MCV along with the Tib Vapor Bomb. So yeah, well played in that regard, I guess. One clicks, despite the nerfs and despite people saying that the one clicks are not really amazing anymore, you saw there that they were very, very powerful indeed. And not only that, but I think that the Tib Seed alone is worth the Tib 4 of Nod, because, you know, it drops like over 3 grand of Tiberium. So I mean, even if you intend to just use the seed Tiberium, it's actually worth building that catalyst or that Tib chemical plant, because you can then sell it then after for $1,500 and get a Black Hand squad. So you're not losing at all. Orchestrite coming in is going to find a harvester. Not going to do anything though. And bike-RUsh, he has a refinery backup, but I'm not sure if that's going to matter anymore. OneVISION, if I were him, I'd probably do a push here, because bike-RUsh is a long way off from actually recovering in this game. But yeah, buggy is definitely the right idea now for OneVISION. If he just gets bike buggy up, he'd be very, very good in this game. APCs and Pibbles though, of course, they will trade quite evenly versus this. But the MCV should be able to defend, especially when he has particle beams. I just think he needs to throw down particle beams. He has ample anti-air right now. He just needs to defend his Redeemer facility and his harvesters, more importantly. bike-RUsh though is getting time. I mean, he's buying himself time getting that expansion up. As you can see, he has the refinery up. He needs to go for a tier 3 though right now, because, you know, if he doesn't have that tier 3 up, he's not going to have anything to kill this Redeemer. And again, like I said before with the infantry, the Redeemer, he has a Redeemer, but by the time this Redeemer gets to bike-RUsh, bike-RUsh is already going to be ready for it. But maybe not, because bike-RUsh is not on tier 3. He's going for, he's going for an armory, I can only imagine here, for that upgrade, the EMP grenades. If I were OneVISION, I'd definitely just move this MCV into bike-RUsh now. I mean, you know that bike-RUsh is really on the back foot. And again, with the 3 refineries, OneVISION seems to be making this work. He's doing a good job leashing the blue Tiberium. I mean, we can give credit to both players in this game for making an effort at that. And Hammerheads, I just don't think is the right option anymore for bike-RUsh, but I guess he just has money floating, so I guess he needs to spend it somehow. Hammerheads, I don't know, but I guess it will. It will protect him versus flame tanks. I guess on the bright side, he can't get it clicked now because, you know, clicks were used not long ago. Not ideal spread from bike-RUsh. And he's wasting time going for barracks. I mean, he really needs to be going for the tier 3. He needs to get his Marv out. OneVISION, though, he's just going to continue to snowball in this game and get eco up. SAM turret's coming down, and it's just going to really haunt bike-RUsh. bike-RUsh he needs to rely on OneVISION making some sort of mistake now. He needs to leave his. He needs to move out with his Redeemer unescorted, and maybe he can get an EMP off on the Redeemer and kill it solo. But yeah, I don't see OneVISION doing that right now. There is Mantis here, so I don't feel that the Mantis were necessary because there is only like 4 or 5 Hammerheads remaining now. But yeah, the Redeemer is being sent out alone, which is not a good idea. He needs to maybe get a secondary MCV out if OneVISION. I mean, why is he going Mantis? I feel that this unit choice from OneVISION is not good, and he needs to keep up the pressure right now. And the way to do that is just to go for that MCV and push where bike-RUsh is going to be placing his expansion. Just knock him out of the game that way. bike-RUsh, I can only see him winning this game if he goes for a Marv. Rage gen here would be pretty catastrophic. Mantis can crush infantry while simultaneously killing the air, but not that they need to assist the Redeemer, because the Redeemer does in fact have a giant flamethrower on it, so that's gonna be the end of those infantry units. Slingshots being better in that regard. I mean, they're pretty decent at crushing infantry. One Juggernaut out on the field now for bike-RUsh. And this series turning out to be pretty good, actually. I mean, there's no real clear winner in this series. I mean, most series that are played in Kane's Off nowadays are just over before they really start. Because, you know, either one guy tilts and it becomes 4-0 or 3-0, or it's just, you know, something along those lines happening. There is just 5 man. I mean, the Mantis, there's just too many Mantis out now. I mean, bike-RUsh is not going to go for air. I mean, look, he sold his airfield. He realized that, look, I'm not going to go air now because there's just too many Mantis out in the field. Look at all these harvesters though. I mean, he's long leeching Tiberium. He needs to get his Redeemer out. Redeemer is there. Catalyst missile could be done for OneVISION. He's going to do it on the refineries. All the harvesters, he's going to do it on the refineries. That's going to be pretty bad news for OneVISION. I think for bike-RUsh. There's only 1 ref on the field now for bike-RUsh. Maybe he could use the Marv to get some of this Tiberium cleaned up if he is struggling for funds to place down a refinery. You can imagine he's going for that now. But yeah, OneVISION, he needs to... I mean, I guess he's playing okay at the moment. He just uses Catalyst Missile. He does have Tip Vane available, though that doesn't bugger roll damage anymore since we nerfed it. Decoy Templum not, of course. I always forget that's a thing for Black Hand. Rage Gen here going to be pretty good. He needs to watch, though, that there's no... what do you call it? Shockwave artillery. I mean, he really is... taking a huge risk there, sending his Redeemer out alone. Unless he has a nuclear missile. Is that a real nuclear missile? Because I was about to say, if he does have a real one, he has a real one, so you can actually use the master countermeasures. So I take that back. OneVISION, he did have a backup plan if Shockwave was a thing. So yeah, pretty good. Can't really make too many complaints here about the gameplay. It's been pretty good from either one of these guys. OneVISION making the flame tank and the one-clicks work early on very effectively versus a very passive bike-RUsh, one could say. bike-RUsh usually a little more aggressive. Obelisk of Light being dropped now for OneVISION, and I think he's just going to base crawl into bike-RUsh's base. bike-RUsh has managed to establish an eco. One flame tank around the side there from this war factory would be pretty game-changing in this game. There is a lot of, well, I thought for a moment those were Spectres. I guess OneVISION would have wished that they were Spectres, but not to be. Gonna be useless Mantis. I guess he could send one in just a spot for his Redeemer or whatever. That is bad. Why is... Oh, okay, good. I forgot that was a thing for a moment. Again, I don't know why he's pushing in with this Redeemer alone. I don't agree with this. Does he have 2 MCVs? Do not know, actually. Oh, yeah, I mean, there's one Spectre here. I mean, OneVISION's just all over the place. There is infantry in the back side of bike-RUsh's base, so... That's going to be spelling death to this base here. And look at all these harvesters queuing at that one refinery. That's going to be pretty bad for bike-RUsh's eco. Oh, if he gets some Spectre shots in between these refs, he's going to be losing both the refineries. But I don't think that OneVISION is catching on to that fact. I don't think he has anything to really finish them off. Unless he uses the vein detonation. If he can use the tip vein detonation here and kill both of them.
Construction complete.
Yeah, he could definitely do that. I feel it's worth it. I mean, you could cancel his obelisk, which I guess he has queued. Yeah, I do feel that both of those would die to that. Look how fast they repair, though.
Low power.
Rage Gen just being recycled endlessly for OneVISION. OneVISION just has this game in the bag, but nice resilience, though, from bike-RUsh. He's fighting back, he's trying, but I just feel that it's too much for him in this game. I think that's going to be 2-1 for OneVISION, if I'm counting right. So bike-RUsh is actually on the back foot. That's of course if I'm counting right, because I haven't actually been counting. But yeah, he's... I don't know, I mean, I guess it's not over yet, exactly. Maybe I'm calling this too soon. Maybe I am, actually. Because the Marv is still alive. bike-RUsh has eco. He doesn't have tech, though. He lost his base up here. And he's going to lose his ref there. That's pretty big for, actually, for... Oh, my God. Wow. That was definitely damaging for OneVISION there. Did the Juggernaut rank up? Oh, I'm surprised it didn't, because there were like 4 Spectres that went down there. Oh, I think bike-RUsh could definitely do with a heroic Juggernaut though right now, but I don't think so. The Redeemer, is it under the influence of Rage? Yes it is, but not anymore. Mantis coming in, they're gonna do not very much, I guess, but yeah, he needs to focus down the MCV, but you know, it's gonna be a matter of time before he has the dual drop of the obelisk once again. And the Marv alone is not going to be able to stand up versus this. I guess if bike-RUsh just had a little longer to, you know, recover in this game and get his tier 3 back up, maybe he could mount a comeback. But, you know, on tier 1 versus this, it's just impossible. He should really focus down this obelisk right here. But, yeah, the Marv is already down to half health, as you can see. Obelisk of Light, very devastating. I think there was an EMP control center in the middle here, or maybe I'm thinking of a different map. It may have been destroyed. If you go across this bridge while it's destroyed, I know that the units fall straight down and they end up being destroyed. So that is happened to me actually once. And these games just abruptly end. I mean, I guess it's just one guy quitting rather than selling up like most of us do. And that's going to be GG. So bike-RUsh+ownz now is down 2-1. And wow, OneVISION making this very difficult for bike-RUsh now. bike-RUsh has only one game more to win because it is a best of 5, so we'll see how this goes. Or is it a best of 7? I think it may be a best of 7. Wow, I really went into this series not doing any of my homework, but yeah guys, I was too excited. I had to bring something to you because I haven't been making any videos lately, so yeah, we're going to the next game. Alright, so bike-RUsh now being down 2-1, or is it 2-2? Oh my god, this is embarrassing. I'm just gonna say it's 2-2. Anyway, let's just forget that. My scoreboard will correct things. So up here on the top right hand side, we have playing as a Nod faction. It's gonna be bike-RUsh+ownz getting dealt Black Hand. Not sure if this was from, well actually it looks like a very pre-selected matchup. There's both of these guys picking Black Hand, and over here we have, as the pink faction, it's going to be OneVISION playing as the Black Hand also. So yeah, bike-RUsh Black Hand tournament, Small Town USA. This is going to be one of the matches where I think it's going to be over very soon. I think bike-RUsh is going to do an all-in. Usually does all-in on this map. I usually preemptively all-in him if I'm a Nod faction on this map and he's a Nod faction, because you know I can guarantee you it's going to be a 1-4 factory. Excuse me, 1 refinery, 2-4 factory all-in. Set your watch to that. We'll see. We will see. Does he... No. What? Dude, there's 2 spikes on this map. How did you not see that? I mean, this map has 2 spikes. He must have got his engineer crushed by a hand of Nodball. Oh man, what a way to lose. I hope not though. Maybe his plan is to sell his MCV and take this spike, which I guess might work, but I don't think so. I think that was a mistake. I just think that was a big mistake, and that's going to give bike-RUsh already an advantage for not really doing too much. There is a flame tank out, and this means only one thing. He's going for an all-in behind this. I've seen it many a time. The flame tank will absorb damage from the opposing players' bikes, while bike-RUsh's bikes, you know, they just do what they're designed for, and that is, you know, kill harvesters and bikes. Yeah, but I don't feel that OneVISION has the time now to respond to this, especially with the bike now in his base. He needs to kill this flame tank. I think it's going to be too late. Yeah, he's going for the refinery. bike-RUsh knows immediately if he kills this, he's going to be winning this game. Why is OneVISION so behind? He went for a tier 2, but is that going to matter? The flame tank is veteran, so it will soak a lot of the damage. I think that is going to be GG if the refinery goes down. Definitely GG. That is it. That's game over. And for some reason, OneVISION in this game was just, you know, completely caught off guard. I'm not sure what happened. I may have forgot his build or something, but definitely not. Definitely a mistake. Oh, there's a flame tank in the base, but not gonna have the same success of Bike's flame tank. But yeah, bike-RUsh, he had 2 spikes, so I guess if either side lost their ref, it would have been kind of interesting, because, you know, they would be powered by 2 spike economy. We would probably see a war factory being sold from them then, and then it would just be like 1 war factory spamming units for like end of time. So yeah, that's going to be 3-2 to bike-RUsh, or yeah, I think so anyway. So yeah, that's going to be it. So we're going on to the next game. Alright guys, just to clarify, it is 2-2. I'm not sure why I thought it was 2-3, considering how there was only 4 games played. But yeah, we'll go into this game. OneVISION had the pick, and it's going to be Extraction Plateau. And up here on the top right hand side, we have playing as a Nod faction. It's going to be bike-RUsh+ownz. And playing over in the bottom left, we have OneVISION playing as a Scrin faction. Is this going to be Traveler versus Black Hand? It is going to be Black Hand for bike-RUsh. So what has OneVISION got from random? It's going to be Scrin. Scrin versus Black Hand versus Bike. Well, yeah, actually I do like that, actually, because bike-RUsh is quite passive nowadays. Before, he used to rush me all the time with flame tanks and all-ins, but now he just decides to eco versus me for some reason. I guess because once upon a time I made the synths work versus his all-in, and then he thought, okay, I don't think I'm going to all-in anymore. I think bike-RUsh, if something doesn't work versus bike-RUsh, he ends up not doing it ever again, even though he probably executed that strategy badly. I don't know. I just feel that he gets the wrong idea about some games, and he changes the way he plays based on not very much games. So yeah, that's something I could definitely say about bike-RUsh. We've got Cabal squads, and over here we have OneVISION, who is going to be Scrin once again, as I mentioned before. There is no spikes or blue Tiberium on this map, so it's going to be pretty much eco from either one of these guys. There is nothing to really reward you for early pressure early on, unlike the other maps that we've played so far, maybe besides Small Town USA, where there is something to fight for. You know, usually it's spikes or it is blue. I guess on this map you can destroy your opponent's spike if you go for like a flame rush. Maybe that could damage your opponent's eco somewhat. But yeah, Kane's Wrath spikes only do generate 10 credits per second, which is not very much. And going for that flame rush. So bike-RUsh once again going for the flame rush. One can only imagine there is a Reckoner coming as well, because he kept a Hand of Nod around, unless he expects okay. What I don't think this is a good idea from OneVISION. He should have definitely just ecoed in this game. Maybe he expected flame rush from bike-RUsh. So maybe this will work to OneVISION's advantage. I have never really made this work though versus Black Hand, because their flame tanks are faster than devs, so the devs are just end up being static defense. They can't really counter attack because the flame tanks are just going to keep them locked in the base. So I would have just gone Seekers. At least Seekers can kill the flame tanks out on the field. And there's a engineer here. Oh my god, can you please kill this? I think he sees it. Yeah, definitely sees it. Yeah, I don't think that was timed correctly. He should have gone in with the flame tank while that was happening. But yeah, usually bike-RUsh is on top of those things. Flame tank gonna find a gap in the base here, and I think that will mean the death of the refinery. Or unless this One Seeker can pull off a miracle here and kill it. He's getting rear armor or rear damage dealt on that flame tank. Definitely going to go down now, especially with that one shot of the Devourer tank. And that's going to put bike-RUsh ahead economically. He does have an upgraded power plant here, I guess, so you won't need a power plant for a while now. Those power plants generate tons of power. And the engineer didn't work, which I guess is kind of good for OneVISION, though he did end up using a $1,500 support power for it to kill that engineer, which was kind of bad. So bike-RUsh on Disciples now. He actually has Black Disciples. Maybe he was expecting a drone ship move from OneVISION because he was going DevCore. But yeah, he should have got his refinery up here, but not to be, man. bike-RUsh, what's he doing now? I think he's in a worse position, all things considered, because, I mean, if you're on even terms with Scrin as Black Hand, that's not really enough for Black Hand, because Scrin units are much more cost effective. I mean, they have means of killing your units very, very, very cheaply. For example, with phase field, if you go mass infantry as Black Hand, Scrin can just phase a couple gunwalkers and crush your army. Or, you know, you can go dev warships and they're equally as powerful versus infantry. Bike-Buggy as well just gets smashed by Mechapeds. And not to mention the Hex Lane, which is just another thing you have to be worried about as Black Hand. That's why Black Hand endeavor to end the game very, very quickly early on. And once you get out here, gonna scout this Mardamab infantry here. Not sure that's gonna do anything. Maybe if he had a flame tank around the side, but not really, because there is a dev tank there. So OneVISION is definitely considering all possibilities here. He needs to get a scout into bike-RUsh's base. He does have a gunwalker in now. He's going to see the expo. He's going to see, okay, my opponent is not going for a sneaky MCV move with no expo to try and knock me out of this game here, because, you know, sometimes you can, you know, pack your MCV up here, move to your opponent's expansion, and go for the mass infantry, place down shredders, which will nullify the buzzer hives, and then the infantry becomes super powerful. But your bike-RUsh is going to eco here, and I think that's a mistake. bike-RUsh in this stage of the game usually goes for flame tanks, so if I were OneVISION, I would definitely be keeping an eye on the flanks, just in case there is one, because usually that is how bike-RUsh wins games in this stage. Once he gets a few Mechapeds out, or I'd imagine he will, because, you know, he's going to have tier 3 now. He's going for Mechapeds, so yeah, OneVISION playing really good. I really like this, I really like the way he's playing. He's playing excellent. And I'm going to go for the face field. As I mentioned before, you know, this is just really lame. It also ranks the gunwalkers out extremely quickly. Doesn't crush, I think they crush, oh yeah, they crush Black Hand as well. They don't crush Zone Troopers though. That's why Zone Raider spam is very effective versus Skrins. Because Zone Troop, the gunwalkers can't crush them. But yeah, decent splitting effort though from bike-RUsh. He's going to avoid his gunwalkers from going down. There is a Mechapede here. For OneVISION, that's going to be causing problems. Does bike-RUsh have his tier 3 though down for the Obelisk of Light? I don't think he does. Scorpion tanks coming in to answer this, but yeah, I do feel that the damage is done here for OneVISION. He was able to distract OneVISION bike-RUsh long enough for him to go up and expand. I think he's expanding. He's going for his... Okay, he's going to go for a storm column. I think that was a bit preemptive. Maybe he should have just waited a little longer. I mean, that is $3,000. They're not cheap, those storm columns. Definitely not cheap at all. Hexport is out on the field now. And I think I have my voices volume on my Kane's Wrath very, very loud. I noticed last video I made that I had them extremely loud, and the sound effects were like next to null as far as volume goes. But yeah, a bit too wasteful here, but I guess I know why he's doing this, because he wants to keep bike-RUsh scouted, and it's actually worth suiciding units just to confirm what your opponent's doing. And does he have units in the top here? As I said, flame tank up here. I mean, you need to be on the ball when it comes to this sort of thing. OneVISION, I guess, does have some sort of hunch that there could be a flame tank, but, you know, I feel that he needs to do more than just drop a storm column there. And there is another flame tank in the bottom here. I mean, these things are so obvious. I mean, they're very obvious to counter. He's going to go for a commando here. It's not going to be a prodigy. It's going to be just a mastermind. You can put this on aggressive stance and it will capture units by itself. So if you are not looking and a Venom sneaks up on your Prodigy or Commando or your Mastermind, it'll take that Venom by itself if you put it on aggressive stance. So that's a small tip for you guys. Flame Tank will be taken out here, so yeah, nice I guess, but he needs to watch for the other two. I guess he was expecting it. There is a Commando here, so yeah, this has definitely been found out by OneVISION. OneVISION knows that this is a thing. You could probably teleport in a unit to deal with this, but no, the Storm Column will dispatch that readily. Redeemer does come out, and because he has the Mastermind out in the field, he will be able to teleport this Hexapod out unless it is under the effect of Rage, which will prevent it from being teleported. Maybe it's a bit too preemptive though, this Rage gen. Maybe you should have waited just a little longer, because now it might survive. No, it's not going to go. It's going to go down. So that was really well done for bike-RUsh. Oh, he's going to use the phase. Is he going to save this Hexapod? Oh my god, he loses it. That was unnecessary. What was his Commando doing? Maybe he failed to teleport it or something. But yeah, this is actually suddenly turning out to be a real problem for OneVISION. And no, never mind. There is so many Mechapedes here. There's like 5 or 6 of them. So yeah, this base is pretty much toast here. There is a Flame Tank also dishing out the hurt on bike-RUsh's base. And I think that is going to be it. The Redeemer is defensive. It's not going out on the counterattack. There is nothing on the counterattack for bike-RUsh. He only has Flame Tanks now to try and win this game with. I think beam cannons would be a good option if it weren't for the mass Mechapede on the map, but I just don't know now. There's just nothing really he could do. He needs to rely on Vision making mistakes as he did in that credit game. Though I guess we could credit Vision for some of the plays he made in that credit game. I'm not taking anything away from Vision here. He's playing very, very well. He's actually going to be on even terms with bike-RUsh if he wins this game. So yeah, this infantry going to get taken out here, and yeah, that's kind of the full shebang, I guess, with Mechapedes and Buzzer Swarm. You really are going to be struggling to hold back Mechapedes as a Black Can, especially if we don't have Tib Core bikes. With Tib Core really one of your only options versus this. I don't think it's necessary to engage here now. I mean, you just need to, you know, relax and just eco and win more, and you know, get tripods up, hexapod as well. He's going to put triple descent in this hex, which is a very good hexapod versus Black Hand, because for one, it shoots and moves, unlike the shock trooper garrisons, and secondly, it's very good versus infantry because of the very high rate of fire from the descent segment. It's also $300 as well, which makes it the most cost-effective segment of the hexapod. I'm not sure why everyone likes to put shock troopers inside of it. I'm really not a fan, unless I'm versus GDI, which is actually necessary to put them in there, because the shock troopers are very good versus, you know, the hammerheads and stuff like that. But yeah, that's going to be it. That's going to be OneVISION down, and we're going to see in the next game if bike-RUsh can recover. So yeah, guys, stay tuned. Alright guys, Master Leaf here, coming back to do another game, and this map will be Tournament Rift. Now, bike-RUsh did submit the replays, so yeah, we don't have them exactly ordered, so I'm going to try and assume that this game here is one of the last, or it could be the last game, because one of the replays was not saved. I assume that the last one wasn't saved anyways, but yeah, what can you do? It's going to be on the right-hand side. It's going to be bike-RUsh+ownz playing over here. He's going to be playing as the red Black Hand. And over on the left-hand side, we can see OneVISION here playing as a Scrin faction. He's going to be a Scrin faction. Of course, he picked random, so we don't know what he is just yet. And as I mentioned previously, the map is going to be Tournament Rift. Very classic map. Not played as much as it was in the past. I mean, throughout the year, my early years in this game, this map was overplayed, but now no one really plays it because of the spike poker in the bottom. Not only that, but shadow teams in this map are just super oppressive. Is he going for shadow teams? No, of course not, because he's Black Hand. bike-RUsh being dealt Black Hand in this game less. He specifically picked it, which we could assume that also. But he's not going for Disciple opening. Very risky, by the way, going for just one single Black Hand Cabal squad. down the bottom. He's going to anti-scout as best as he can here, and I think that he could be going for an all-in. I mean, I just sniff an all-in when I see this reaction from bike-RUsh. And is he going for that all-in? Oh, look, he looks like he's going for it. Or I could be wrong, actually. Yeah, maybe I'm a little mistaken. It could be just a refinery. Anyway, he's going to take this spike, no bother. I do think it was risky, though. I mean, he had the chance of losing his engineer there. And yeah, this is going to be OneVISION expanding here. I guess he thinks that there is nothing coming. To my knowledge, he doesn't know, but he will know now because he did go for a Seeker first. And the Seeker will be able to reveal that there is only one bike out. He saw the 2 refs, so that's all he really needs to know. The Seeker did pay off there. Will delay his 4th harvester. bike-RUsh now is on 3 harvesters, in fact. And yeah, there isn't really much besides that one bike out for bike-RUsh. I don't think OneVISION is going to be too fooled by that. He's probably just going to go for eco, or no, scratch that. He's actually going to go for a Seeker to try and respond to this. He's going for Seekers, man. I mean, he knows there's only one bike. I mean, surely he does. I just feel that he's getting juked out a little bit here. Yeah, this is should definitely not be happening. I think that OneVISION is definitely reading this wrong. In fact, no, he realizes now that he could be just being fooled by this. He does go 2 Seekers, probably to scout or maybe to stop bike-RUsh leashing the blue Tiberium. But there is no harvester to speak of there. bike-RUsh just going to casually eco up in this game meanwhile. And he is Blackhand, so I don't understand the notion of teching and ecoing with Blackhand, because their strength is in the early game. And bike-RUsh is not really leveraging the advantage of Blackhand early on. But yeah, needless to say, let's see what happens here. I mean, it's going to be an eco game by the look of it. It's going to be OneVISION here. He's going to have 2 Seekers he could probably poke in and do damage, though there is Scorpion Tanks out now. Scorpion Tanks with Blackhand, not really what you really need in training, because you don't have laser capacitors, and you're going to be finding Mecha Ps very hard to deal with without laser capacitors, which is obviously going to be coming. Stasis Chamber out now. Is he Traveler? I think he Traveler. Wow, I didn't usually you expect Traveler players to eco up early on, but I guess not. He's gonna go for Descents now. You have to remember Descents are a lot weaker now because they did get nerfed one patch long ago. I can't say the last patch because it definitely wasn't anymore, because we have R13. And I do highly suggest that you guys adopt R13 as the patch to play on. Because it is very good. It adds a number of new maps, which there's actually a new map in there that I really like, and also it does fix a critical bug with the refineries and harvesters, which resulted in Scrin having a little more eco than they should in some games. Anyway, there is wow, blue Tiberium being harvested here for bike-RUsh. That's going to be a massive deal for OneVISION. OneVISION a little too slow to react and respond to that. He had the Descents waiting, but I guess he was just too content on dealing with those Scorpion Tanks in his base. But yeah, nice use of the Cabal squads to throw the grenades that will deny any attack order of the Descents, and he's just getting chewed up here, isn't he? He's going to lose all of his disintegrators, and I think this is all falling apart for OneVISION. And all those Descents will be going down. And he's going Cultist now. Maybe he expects Flame Tanks, but it's not really a thing of people do anymore, Descents into Cultists, because before Descents were actually a counter to buggies. So Blackhand players had to make Flame Tanks mixed in with the buggies just to kill Descents, which is pretty crazy to think about it. But yeah, nowadays people just don't do that, because Descents don't really count buggies now. I guess he was maybe expecting one Flame Tank around the side, of which there are none. Now, knowing bike-RUsh, there is definitely going to be a one-click here. It does smell like a one-click, and it is. It's going to be... Has he gone 2 refineries or 2 MCVs? Yes, he has. This is going to be a quick game here. bike-RUsh seems to have just really snowballed ahead in this game, and that's going to be a dead refinery, unless he already lost one, but I don't think so. And OneVISION in this game, I just feel that he's kind of run out of steam. He's not playing as good as he did in the first few games. And bike-RUsh, I mean, I can imagine he's going to win this game now. I don't see how OneVISION can win. I mean, I guess, actually, I don't know. I mean, he has a Prodigy out, so it's not entirely over. It is on low on HP, so if he does decide to do any suicide MCV cap, it's going to be harder when it's not on that full HP. You can get healed up on the Tiberium. But yeah, Mecha Peds plus Prodigy, you can never rule out anyone who has a Prodigy. You just have to watch an Unleashed replay to know that. And bike-RUsh here, just going to be sitting comfortable. You could just go for buggies and beam cannons, which is what I saw many a time on this map from Blackhand versus late game Traveler. Nice focus firing of the heads from bike-RUsh, and that obelisk definitely paying off there. And the Commando as well. What happened to that? I'm not sure. I guess he tried to take the MCV but failed. I think he put that there just to spot for the MCV, but yeah, I don't think it really worked for OneVISION. And now we have a just excuse me guys, one moment. Alright guys, Steve here back, and yeah, as I was saying, OneVISION is in a world of trouble right now. bike-RUsh doesn't have the EMP cores upgrade, at least right now. I just don't see this happening though for OneVISION. He's going for a signal transmitter, so maybe looking to get a mothership down in bike-RUsh's base, which is very smart thinking because he knows that his odds are not looking too good without you know, some kind of cheat such as mothership. But I don't think it really happened. I mean, you can actually throw down the Buzzstorm support power just to absorb the Shredder turret's damage if you do decide to like take your opponent's MCV. Most of the time I do, I'm just too quick, so I just sell it off immediately. It doesn't matter how much DPS is on that Commando. There's always a second or a second after the Commando dies where the MCV that you just captured is still under your control for some reason. And yeah, I never understand this game and things like that. These things will never be fixed by patch 1.02 plus. I mean, this is just an engine related issue. And this is going to be a good game here. There's nothing that OneVISION can really do. And this was the last game, so I can only imagine that OneVISION won the last game, but it wasn't really on GameReplays.org, unfortunately. Which is a real shame. I really wanted to bring this a full series, but you know, bike-RUsh posted the replays. You can never. I tried to ask Technique once to give me one of his losses or wins, and he never bothered to because he lost the series and he didn't want me to cast it. But you know what, guys? I just want to cast some games. It's never really perfect, but yeah, hopefully bike-RUsh in the future does learn to, you know, save his losses as well, not just his wins. He did do a decent job this time, though. Usually he saves like 1 or 2 games, but yeah, the drone ship's going down. This is pretty much over. bike-RUsh will come through in this series. bike-RUsh did go on to play versus Senna and another guy in this ladder wars. It was hosted on R12, by the way, so despite me rambling on about R13 the whole time, it was on R12. So things such as the new maps and the new bug fix weren't in effect in this series. And once again, guys, I want you to check out the link in the description below if you want this command post tool. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up and a like, and I'll be bringing more content to you guys in the near future. There won't be huge gaps in content, so yeah. This is Master Leaf. Peace out.